That's why ultimately we ended up dedicating the film to the firefighters, because when we met them, we really came back changed.
An alle Einsatzkräfte. Waldbrandmeldung nördlich vom
Wasser und Ausrüstung fassen, kommt! Halt, schau die Nadel in die Rille!
Wie, das ist ein richtiger Brand?
Ja, die gibt's hier ständig im Sommer. Ihr erfahrt nur immer was von den ganz Großen.
Waldbrand aufgrund eines unbeaufsichtigten Lagerfeuers. Entfernung 10 Kilometer, Kurs 290.
How has Dusty been, and what adventure does he take on in this movie?
Well, in the first film, Dusty was a crop duster who, fulfilled his dream of becoming a world-class racer. In this film, we actually looked at that plane, and in real life, the crop duster that Clay Hall used in the first film, that plane is used in wildfire air attack. It's known as a SEAT, a single-engine air tanker, and it's actually the smallest plane in the wildfire air attack fleet. So we actually looked at the plane itself to sort of tell us where to take the story next. The other thing that's interesting is, by pushing his engine so hard to become that racer, he's actually, again, in real life this could happen to an engine, he's damaged his engine. So he learns that he may never be able to race again. So the story sort of asks the question of how he's going to deal with that.
And you got together with real-life heroes, with firemen.
Yes.
What did you learn from them?
Everything. They were very much a part of our story process. Since we're telling a story about firefighters, it made perfect sense to do our research with the firefighters themselves, pull them in. They got very much emotionally invested in helping us tell their story.
We didn't know that much about firefighters when we went out to research it. Dusty sort of led us into the story, so we went out to sort of discover that world. And we were blown away. Like in the United States, there's over 50,000 wildfires a year. And so there are these planes out there every day putting these fires out. So we also learned, though, when we went out the very first time, just like in the movie, you'll see a scene in the movie where we went out to meet the firefighters, to sort of look at the base and meet them, and they were fixing lunch for us, and we were all just hanging out and talking about what they do, and then the alarm went off, and everybody dropped everything and kicked into action, loaded up the planes, and went out to attack the fire. So you really saw both sides. You saw these sort of lovely, generous, kind, guys and gals. And then, when the alarm went off, they sort of kicked into action, and they were tough and courageous and brave. So that's why ultimately we ended up dedicating the film to the firefighters, because when we met them, we really came back changed.
When you create a movie like this with all its different characters, do you already have an actor or an actress in mind who could play them or who could speak them?
Sometimes.
Sometimes we do, because again, when you look at the vehicle, and you think about, well, what's the personality I sort of get from that vehicle? When was that vehicle manufactured? What's that vehicle made out of, and how does this help define its personality? And then you look at the people who sort of drive that, the pilot who pilots that plane. What's that person like? What's the battalion chief of an air attack squadron like? And that will tell us what Blade Ranger should be like. Then you want to go and find an actor who really embodies the spirit of that character, that can bring it to life and give it a soul. He's not coming in, or she's coming in to sort of put on a voice, but she's actually coming in because she almost already feels like that she embodies the character. So we have a great example. We have two old RVs in our movie that have been married for 50 years, and they're returning to Piston Peak National Park for their 50th wedding anniversary. So when we cast that part in the U.S., we got actors and actress named Jerry Stiller and Ann Mira, who've been married for 50 years to play the part, and they're a comedy team.
That's really nice.
Yeah, because they came preloaded with the chemistry, good and bad, that would come with over 50 years of marriage.
Ich höre keine Trommeln.
An alle Flieger, wir haben einen Waldbrand nördlich des Pinecone-Kamps.
Los, Jungs!
What is your favorite Disney movie of all time?
Oh, yeah. My favorite Disney movie of all time is probably, it's because it's the first Disney movie I was taken to as a child, is The Jungle Book. My grandparents took me to. And so that's my first memory and I just really love the characters in it. and the story and the songs. So it really kind of opened my door up to animation before anything else on the big screen, and I was really fascinated.
Yeah, I mean, I love the Aristocats, and it's a weird answer. But again, I think it's the first film I have a real memory of. It's when I went to Disney World for the first time when I was 8 years old, and that was the film that was out. So you might go back and look at it and say, really, Aristocats? But you know, we all have the little ones that we sort of have our memories from our first animated film we really remember from beginning to end, and that was it for me.
That's good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Good to see you again.